Hey, how are ya? Welcome to the Durkamania Comedy Wrestling webcast, where comedy and wrestling collide in the ultimate grudge match for supremacy. I am your host, stand-up comic, lifelong wrestling fan Dave Durkin, joined alongside my nephew, professional wrestler Kyle Durkin,
Jason Cage,
and
your service,
and fellow stand-up comic and lifelong wrestling fan Josh Wells.
And hoping to make my wrestling debut in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this Sunday.
And letting everyone else know. So. And obviously this Sunday, Wrestlemania doesn't get any bigger than this.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we start at the early part of the card. I believe they're kicking it off with the tag team.
It's a 2-hour pre-show, and then within those 2 hours there will be
it's a 2-hour pre-show.
It's a 2-hour pre-show.
It's a whole 6-hour night, right? From 5 to 11. Yeah.
It's our Super Bowl, right? There'll be a 4-team tag team match for the championship within that pre-show somewhere. It'll be the tag team champions, of course, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, Los Matadores. It'll be, I'm sorry that I'm flubbing here.
Yeah, New Day and Usos, yeah.
It'll be Miz and Mizdow?
No, they're not in the Battle Royal.
Oh, that's right, they are in the Battle Royal, okay.
Yeah, it's those 4 teams, and interestingly, they're each going to have someone in their corner. There's Natalia in the one corner, and
New Day will have whoever the other guy is.
Yeah, and then I'm forgetting her name, Jimmy Uso's wife.
Oh, God.
The one with the big butt.
Trinity? Yes.
I don't think that's it. But and then El Torito in the corner of the Matadors, yeah.
It is Trinity.
So I have a feeling like they'll all probably get involved somehow or other. Any thoughts on that match? Any predictions? Any?
I look to see Tyson Kidd and Cesaro retain. I think it's still early in their tag team reign, and I think they have a lot of talent and a lot to show, and it'll be great to see. It'll be great to see, on the big stage. I think 4 tag teams, knowing that they got to kick off the show pretty much. I look for it to be just a high energy match, just 8 guys in the ring giving it all, 4 corner people going nuts on the outside. That's just a lot of people to throw in the ring. To start everything off, get the crowd warmed up. Should be awesome.
Yeah. It's funny because about a month ago or so I was on here basically complaining that there was no tag teams, that it was the Usos and whoever they threw together. But now I sort of feel, in a way, like New Day and the Matador were sort of just thrown into this. Like they've kind of been... the El Matador's been around a while, but they were sort of out of this main scene.
That's true.
And then New Day just kind of knew, and they just kind of seemed to be thrown into the title picture out of nowhere.
And it seems that the Ascension, who will also be in the Battle Royal later up in the card, it seems that the Ascension, probably if you would ask anybody in creative or in the executive branch, it would be a month ago, they probably would have said the Ascension's going to be in this match. But I feel like the audience outright rejected them. They came on way too strong with their promos,
I noticed
trashing legends, and I think that they took a misstep with the Ascension. Hopefully they'll be able to rectify that maybe a little bit after WrestleMania. I feel like Los Matadores kind of snuck in on the Ascension's what would have been the Ascension spot in that match.
Yeah, I noticed the Ascension's been doing a lot more work on main event and superstars rather than
they're trying to get them exposed but not overexposed, I suppose. Also, there's some primetime players. They just came back. And whenever a tag team just comes back, there's supposed to be a lot of excitement around it. There isn't. I think they're in the Battle Royal. I'm actually not sure about that team. I know the Ascension's in it, but it's weird how they're evolving the tag teams right now and who's in place for a title shot.
Now, is the Battle Royal part of the pre-show, or is that what's actually starting off the wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know the exact order that some of these things are going. I certainly think that's earlier in the show. And I don't know all 20 people in it, but among them are, I would say, Eric Rowan and...
Luke Harper.
No, Luke
Harper's going to get the Continental.
Oh, that's right, he is.
Ryback.
I think Ryback
is probably the big favorite.
You have Kane in there, you have Big Show and Kane who have to... What's interesting is there's a lot of smaller rivalries in the Battle Royal. You have the Mizdow thing, which is a keg powder ready to go, right?
Right.
You have Kane and Big Show who've kind of been at odds a little bit. They've been teasing on TV. Maybe that implodes at the Battle Royal. Well, I was gonna say Goldust and Stardust. I don't know what they're doing with the Goldust Stardust rivalry.
Well, Stardust is in the Intercontinental, so I
Yeah.
haven't seen Goldust in a while.
He might be in the Battle Royal.
He could be in there, yeah.
I think he is.
I mean, if Zack Ryder and Heath Slater are there, I
yeah.
think Goldust should be there. There'll be one NXT guy. They're having a tournament. I think it's happening right now at Access. Right, actually, I don't know the match lineups, but it's Finn Balor, Tyler Breeze, Hideo Itami, and Adrian Neville. And the winner of the tournament gets a spot in the Battle Royal.
Mm.
I don't know. I think I like Adrian Neville to win that only because he has probably more experience than anybody else working house shows, and they might trust him more. I almost feel like that's an awkward spot for an NXT guy, a Battle Royal. You don't really get a lot of opportunities to show the crowd, the skills.
Unless you're Kofi Kingston.
And I don't think
He always gets a good spot.
in a Battle Royal, I don't know if that's Adrian Neville's best
Yeah,
thing. I
it's
mean,
not-
unless he gets down to the final 5 and there's a little room to move around.
See,
But,
I'd be able to see Neville in the ladder match. That I could see
Oh,
him
yeah,
participating in.
Yeah, but a Battle Royal, everyone's kind of jammed in. It's kind of the guys that are, the high flyers don't usually get to do as much there,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess the logical pick would be Ryback would probably seem to be the heavy favorite. I mean, is there anyone else that you guys think might do it?
Actually, I saw something today or yesterday. There's a rumor that Sheamus might return. He either might return before the Battle Royal or the night after on Raw. So there's a possibility we could see Sheamus in the Battle Royal.
Okay, that's a... Now, is Curtis Axel in it? I don't know if that's...
Axelmania will be in the Battle Royal.
You're giving him a little push.
I think that's great. They're finally, because everyone noticed the whole thing that happened at the Royal Rumble, and then it took maybe like about a month for them to actually start like giving him that little story.
Don't change the channel. His promo was great. He was part of easily the best segment of Monday Night Raw with Snoop Dogg and Hulk Hogan. That was amazing. That was just a slice of awesome right there.
Yeah, so that's I mean, you're getting as big a push in a way as you can get to have those two in there. I was going to say I hate when they switch a guy from a heel to a face to a heel, and then they do it too often, too quickly. And that being said, though, I could totally see a thing where maybe it comes down to Eric Rowan and Ryback, and the end result of it all being like Eric Rowan makes a heel turn. I could see something where they're the last two and Ryback wins, and then Eric Rowan comes back in and, hits him with a chair or whatever, and then they start a feud up between those two just to go, to get something. I kind of talked about this with Luke Harper as well. It seems like Eric Rowan, they split up the Wyatt family, and then they kind of haven't known exactly what to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see something like that where, I mean, him and Ryback could be a pretty good, rivalry for, future
Two big guys just beating the hell out of each other.
And something I noticed when you just mentioned the whole like they don't know what to do with certain people, making them like heel and then face, and they seem to be doing that a lot with Mark Henry.
Yeah, Mark Henry, I haven't even really seen him much lately. I mean, actually,
Mark Henry is my pick for the Battle Royal. That's what I'll go with.
I was going to say, isn't he in the Battle Royal? Yeah.
He's my pick. He came out and he made Roman look strong, so I think, maybe a Battle Royal wins in his future, just wrestling karma coming back his way. We'll see.
What else we got?
We have, again, forgive us, some of these matches may end up being in a
I'm
different order in the
stick.
show, but there's the women's tag team match with the Bellas and AJ and Paige.
Who now are showing animosity towards each other.
Yeah.
Full blown now. I mean, they were
at it.
They were straight up fighting each other. That should be. It should be as interesting as a tag match with the Bellas can be, I suppose. I guess I'm glad they did something with AJ and Paige being combustible. It felt like there wasn't a lot of juice in this storyline.
Yeah.
Nothing to really. Nothing to be tug at your emotions and make you invested. So I guess that's what they're going for. I almost feel like the obvious thing is that the Bellas are going to win because of that. That AJ and Paige, one of them turns on the other. I will be rooting for AJ and Paige. AJ's from New Jersey, Union City, right down a couple blocks from me. So.
And you were at the show where she returned.
I was, yes. The Newark Raw. That was great. That was awesome. New Jersey's own AJ Lee. Stop chanting CM Punk. AJ Lee has 3 syllables too, people.
Now, then we have the, of course, the Intercontinental ladder match.
Yeah, which I think is, we've talked about this on here before. I think we're almost certain that's going to be the match of the night, right? That's
Yeah.
going to be.
I'd say so.
I think I feel like they put too many guys in it.
There's an odd number of guys in there.
There's 7.
So there's got to be one more they're throwing in there.
Well, why not? I mean, it's a ladder match. You could have any number. It could be 7. Why not?
I feel like it's all part of the push to get everyone on the roster involved in Wrestlemania, which is nice. It is a lot of people. But I think the guys that are in this match, there's just a lot of great workers, and I just think there's gonna be so many great spots. I don't want to be cheesy, but I feel like the winner of this match is the fan. Right. There's no way that this match is not amazing. They would, 3 of them would, I don't know, have to break their legs on the way to the ring for this match to not be good. It just seems like a no-brainer.
My only thing with it is the. Because I think the storyline, what they're doing with the stealing the belt with Barrett and all that, and obviously any ladder match is kind of interesting, I mean, you kind of know what you're going to get with it going. I think that they could have done almost everything they're doing with that with R-Truth and Stardust and Luke Harper, and had them in Barrett, and kind of given those guys a little push. And then I maybe would have had like Ziggler and Ambrose and Bryan, who were already way over. And I think it's almost beneath them to be in matches with R-Truth and Stardust,
I think Stardust is such a talent, but I think what they've done with Stardust,
I guess just
down the card.
Yeah, I mean, just where they are. I mean, like, those guys are like main event level guys, Ambrose and I would have liked to have seen them have like a triple threat #1 contender match. Like the winner of the 3 of them gets the winner of Lesnar and Reigns next month.
And nobody would be mad about that. Everyone would, that's just a great idea.
I just kind of feel like in a way, I mean, Daniel Bryan was like, at Royal Rumble, a lot of people were picking him to win it, to go back and win the title, and now all of a sudden he's one of the 7 guys in the Intercontinental match.
And not only that, after Daniel Bryan lost to Roman Reigns, there were all these rumors popping up that they were going to set up a Daniel Bryan Dolph Ziggler match at WrestleMania. Right. Now they might have helped start it because they went back and forth on Twitter about it. However, fans were into that idea when it was surfacing on dirt sheets and everywhere online. And then all of a sudden, they're just both throwing this match together. Fine, okay, but now here's this match, this one-on-one match that everybody would have gone crazy for, and now they've just given it away for free twice on television in the past week and a half. And both times, it's a brain scratcher that Ziggler goes over clean both times. It makes you, positioning's really weird in this match, and the storyline's a little muffled. Maybe when you say there's too many guys, I think it's more, that's the big problem, getting so many guys to have logical spots in a story at the same time. That's why the Money in the Bank matches in WrestleMania's past were always great. There was no story. It was like, here's a bunch of hungry mid-card guys, and we're just going to throw them in there, and they're going to go bananas. I feel like they tried a little too hard to make a story out of this. And
it did feel a little bit, though, the other night, like there maybe is going to be a Ziggler heel turn. He kind of, because he seems of those 3 guys that I said, I think Bryan is, so popular, and Ambrose is kind of the anti-hero. I think I mean, Ziggler kind of has that thing where he could kind of play like the arrogant, almost like a Mr. Perfect type, They seem to be hinting a little bit towards something like that. So, I feel like there's so many, among the top guys, there's so many faces. Like, somebody's got to turn soon. Now, do you guys have a choice who you want to win, or who you think's going to win, or?
I'm thinking either Ambrose or Ziggler, I think is going to take this one. I can't choose between the 2, but I think it's going to be either or of them.
I'm picking, my heart says Daniel Bryan, but I'm going to pick Dean Ambrose. The main reason for that is he was the first one to steal the belt. A couple weeks before that, the Raw they did from the Connecticut headquarters, they did this thing where he walked all the way there in a blizzard. And he talked about how at Mania he's going to put himself among a list of a name of champion, a list of champions or something like that. I don't know. He tried to make it sound really epic. And it just, at that moment, I was like, I think they're going to give this guy the IC belt. And that's just kind of, I think they've been going that direction ever since.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'd like to stick with what I said a few weeks ago, although I think it could be any of the three. I've said Luke Harper, and I'll add R-Truth and Stardust in there now, because I think those guys kind of need a belt to get over. I mean, I don't think Ambrose or Ziggler or Bryan needs the belt.
That's a great point.
That's another one. I think Stardust would be probably the third one, I'd say. So yeah. I'll throw him in my.
I think Stardust is
choices also.
So talented and so I don't know if I want to say underutilized because he gets a ton of TV time. I don't know what it is. There's something. There's just one ingredient missing, and he's had the IC belt before. And I think the IC belt would probably be better suited on somebody who's not all that over with the crowd. But then there's also the rumors about how WWE is trying to position the US title and the IC title to carry more prestige. And
So if it had a Daniel Bryan or Dean Ambrose,
This is the one match. I think no matter what the outcome is, though, I won't be mad.
I
can make a case for why I want each guy in this match to win. There's a justification. I like all these guys, all of them.
They're all great. They're all amazing talents. Wade Barrett too.
The one. It's funny we've hardly mentioned the champion.
I feel bad for Wade Barrett. They
That
started doing this and he can't get a win.
Yeah, that could be the thing. I mean, actually, he's sort of the guy that needs to win the most of anyone. So
I was happy when he stole his own belt back. It felt like he won the belt again. It's like, no, it's been his all along. It just seemed almost insane. I mean, to steal the belt, it was cool. It was fun. Had its moments. Some comedic and some good promos came out of it. But I think I'll be glad to see the hot potato game done after this.
Of course, we have the other secondary title, the U.S. title.
I was gonna say you just brought up that.
I think Cena's taking it. I think we're gonna see him as the U.S. champion again.
Upset, Rusev crush. Lana comes back.
You think? Where has Lana been?
She's coming. I read somewhere that she's filming a WWE movie.
Oh really? I know she was already a previous, she's an actress.
Yeah, I just feel like really you're gonna take her off of television on the road to WrestleMania when when she's the mouthpiece for the monster.
But then again, it kind of worked with her not being there, because then everyone's like now everyone's like they're showing that they like Lana, and then they're all just like.
But I don't think they're supposed to like Lana. I think that's the problem. You need Lana there every week to be like, shut up, stupid Americans, and then you do that. Now, if Lana does come back at WrestleMania, she's gonna kind of be over in a certain way, and the Russian monster is not supposed to have any. This is USA versus Russia. We're supposed to boo that guy, and they might have made a mistake. If Lana comes back, if she doesn't come back, who knows? Maybe they boo Rusev outright. There's always gonna be the Cena sucks chance. So
I mean, to me, it's almost. I think they really handled this badly. I mean, if you just think of the idea, a few months ago, we're going to have a Russian guy that's putting down America, and we're going to have the biggest star of the last 10 years fight him at WrestleMania. It just seems like so, and he dedicates it to the truth. I mean, he does everything he can to push the America thing, and it's it's not really catching on, I feel. That's how I feel anyway. I don't think people are that excited about it.
I think no matter what John Cena does now, he can come out and dedicate it to the troops. There's always going to be a large segment of the crowd that feels that anything that comes out of John Cena's mouth is inauthentic. So even if they are pushing him as the patriot in this,
I think it's that classic Hulk Hogan Iron Sheik kind of feud going on. Because when Iron Sheik was when he had the title, he was always against America. Everybody hated him, and then. Didn't he and Hogan had it?
Yeah, but that's my point. I mean, during those times, the whole arena was screaming for Hogan and waving American flags. It seems like a lot of people really don't care about this match.
Then again, the factor comes into play. That was also back there where no one knew what anything was happening behind the scenes. Nowadays, everybody knows everything about every guy on the roster. That probably has something to do with it. Where kayfabe mattered. You know what I mean?
I'm now that this match is coming on Sunday, one person I'm happy for is Jack Swagger. because hopefully we won't have to watch him lose to Rusev again. I felt like a constant theme on the road from Fastlane to WrestleMania is let's just have Rusev beat Jack Swagger every week. It's like, poor guy.
You know what I'm saying? Is what I think would actually get a bigger pop from the crowd would be if Rusev beats Cena at WrestleMania, and if Ryback wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and then on Monday Night Raw, like Ryback comes out and beats, Rusev. I could see that being a bigger thing, like, if they open, he beats Monday Night Raw, and then Monday Night Raw opens with Rusev doing the anti-American thing, and then all of a sudden, like, Ryback just charges and wins the belt, and, I could see that being bigger than Cena winning it.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know, I doubt that's how it's going to happen.
Do you
but
think Rusev's going to win it, maybe, or?
I think it probably will be Cena, but I don't know. I just don't feel like it's built into that big moment the way it should have.
Yes, it doesn't feel like. Well, also, it should be, if John Cena does win, it should feel like John Cena beats the big, mean Russian monster. But they've kind of watered down Rusev as a monster in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And he's kind of come out and played a more cowardly role. And then last Monday, John Cena just beat the ever-loving Russian out of him, and so it's like if you thought Rusev was a monster 3 weeks ago, if you've been watching the past 3 weeks, you probably don't think he's a monster.
Well, no, but then of course he came back this week, Rusev, and he beat the hell out of Cena. So we'll see how that goes. And now there's 2 other non-title matches, which I think are in a lot of ways bigger.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker.
Oh, 3 of them. I'm sorry, I forgot. Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker.
Look at you forgetting.
Yeah. My favorite. And I love, not seeing The Undertaker, but to me, I could watch Bray Wyatt promos all night. That's
his promo this last Monday night was incredible with the thunder effects and everything. That was really cool. I don't think it's gonna help much. I think Undertaker is going to beat Bray Wyatt. I don't know what Bray Wyatt's going to do after this.
I have a little prediction for this little match.
All right,
ready?
I saw something a couple days ago. It was new pictures of Undertaker surfaced from the Performance Center, and he doesn't have the gray hair anymore. He's got the old brown goatee back, and he's starting to grow a little bit of length in his hair. But he had kind of like the old badass Undertaker look to him. And then I saw a couple people saying online, like, "Oh, hey, do you think he'll return as a badass?" And I think it's pretty possible. Like Lesnar killed the dead man Undertaker, and and badass has been gone for what is it now, like 12 years about.
That could be interesting. I just think, I mean, already when Undertaker accepted, it was cryptic. It was very Dead Man style.
But maybe that's the whole point,
it was just
because
the
he's
man
not
comes
showing
around.
his face. I mean, if you think about it, maybe that could be the reason why he's not showing up. Like, people are thinking it's going to be, the cryptic, the dead man, but then out of nowhere he'll come out on the bike with the American flag on the back.
That'd be interesting. I feel like I would like to see him try to out mystique Bray Wyatt. I don't want to see Bray Wyatt fight The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and Bray Wyatt is carrying more mystique, more danger, more.
But then again, isn't that the thing? Because he's becoming like the new what's it?
Face of Fear.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's my bit. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Comes down, Limp Bizkit blast him.
Oh yeah. Maybe not Limp Bizkit, but
maybe get some song. Maybe some George
maybe a new age badass Undertaker. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I gotta say, I have a tough call on the match. I would love to see it turn into some kind of extended thing. Not even, I would like it if somehow it could work out that they actually team up after this. Like some kind of, maybe even Undertaker I don't think could be a full-time wrestler at this point. But if he's sort of like becomes like the elder statesman of the Wyatt family, maybe like a reformed Wyatt family with the Undertaker behind him. I don't know. I could see like some kind of some kind of evil family thing with the 2 of them together.
I feel like Undertaker's only future is either a match with Sting next year or at Mania, or some kind of training role at NXT.
Yeah, I heard that too. Him and Sting next year.
I definitely don't think that Undertaker losing 2 years in a row at Mania is going to happen.
Oh no, definitely not.
So speaking since you brought up Sting, obviously the big Sting Triple H match, which I think for some people might be the match they're looking the most forward to. Maybe not as far as the in-ring performance, the way with the ladder match, but just the legendary status of the two of them, you know, and obviously the whole, you know, Monday Night War history kind of, the culmination of it all here.
You know, and somebody said to me yesterday on Facebook, they said, you know, I'm sorry, buddy, but your boy Triple H is going to get beat by Sting on Sunday. And I replied, I said, you know what, honestly, I was watching Sting first when I was younger, but growing up, I was idolizing both of them. They were both kind of on the separate sides. They were both equally like my favorite wrestlers. So honestly, watching this match, I don't care who wins because the match itself is just going to be so amazing that I don't think who wins will even matter.
Yeah, I mean, Triple H doesn't need to win this match.
I mean, obviously, I think Sting's going to win.
Yeah, that's...
But, I mean, just...
But he needs to carry this match, probably. I mean, nobody's seen Sting wrestle since...
TNA.
Dare we say it, TNA. So, who knows what he has left in the gas tank. He looked jazzed up on Raw and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. I really just want it to be an entertaining match.
I just want it to be a great match.
I don't want them to come out and everyone's just like, wow, this is really boring for two legendary guys. Sting.
They're culminating the Monday Night Wars in this one match.
Well, I do think I think the one thing about them is I think they're good enough performers that even if their physical wrestling is not going to match a Daniel Bryan Dolph Ziggler match, but I think that they can, posture and do, they could do some of the things to bring the crowd into, kind of the old Hulk Hogan, you show your finger and you get the whole place going crazy,
Right.
I think they have that performance experience that they could still bring a crowd in even if their physical skills aren't where they once were,
And actually, that's an excellent point. When Hulk Hogan fought The Rock at WrestleMania, NWO Hogan, when he turned at the match, that's maybe one of my favorite matches of all time. The wrestling craft wasn't great in that match, just like you said. It was just entertaining. Just two guys that know how to push the right buttons and do the right things to get the crowd.
It was just a match everybody wanted to see.
So so that being said, these two guys should be able to get it done.
Now, two guys who I think will probably give us a better wrestling match are Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. This is one for me. This is another one I feel like they did not. They kind of didn't do the storyline well because it was just. I think we all basically knew what was going to happen, and then just the whole thing of trying to make it seem like he was teaming up with him, and then he turned. I mean, that had to be like the least surprising turn in the history of wrestling. I don't know what, somehow or other they could have just done something to build that up better, I'm sure it'll end up being a great match. I mean, Seth Rollins, if there's anything I like in wrestling more than a Bray Wyatt promo, it's a Seth Rollins match. I love watching Seth Rollins wrestle. So I'm sure it'll be a great match. As great, and Seth Rollins is great on the mic as well. I mean, as great as he is, I think they could have done something better to build this up. And I just hope somehow or other this is the end of the M&M security, or what is it, J&J security?
Oh, I love J&J security. They need a t-shirt.
Awesome.
I'll buy their t-shirt. WWE, make a t-shirt.
Maybe let them be a tag team or something against the Matadors or something.
They're Seth Rollins
again.
coolest goons, It's just,
I don't know. I love Seth Rollins. Is so great to me. I think he should just be able to stand on his own and have these matches and not have these guys.
That's the whole point. Is that he can hold his own. But he's got these two goons backing him up, and then they're going to his battles for him. I think that's just making it better.
I mean, maybe some people think I don't know. I sort of feel like it's holding him back to have this whole thing of those guys and Kane and the Big Show, everybody backing him up, and he's not having his own matches.
I almost feel like Seth Rollins needs all that to keep his heel status with the crowd because, like you said, Seth Rollins is one of the most entertaining guys in the ring right now, if not the most entertaining. The crowd could easily flip and start rooting for him if they're not given constant reminders, this is a bad guy. Don't overlook, he has goons, he has the authority. he's always running, running his mouth and running out of the ring, things like that. So I think like it just keeps Rollins heel, gets that heat.
Sure.
I like JB Noble on the mic. Guy's got a voice of an angel. It should be a great. I think it's gonna be a great match. I think
in ring I think it'll be a great match. I just wish they built it up better somehow.
Any predictions?
It's tough.
I mean, you know what?
Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
I was gonna say maybe Orton, just because Seth Rollins already has the Money in the Bank. He's got the title shot there.
Right.
So I think if Orton wins now, that puts him in the title picture without taking Rollins out of the title picture.
You just made me think of something. Maybe they'll have Orton win, and then Seth, he'll be so pissed off that he still wants his spotlight. Maybe he can sneak himself into after the WWE title match.
I think Seth Rollins cashes in at Mania.
I think that's
what because he's going to cash in at Mania.
I've been thinking that for a while. I think that's what he's going to do.
I think Randy Orton wins this match so that like you said, it's just a great way to put another guy into the upper card, into the title scene. If Seth Rollins gets a cash in. I think he's going to try to cash in. I don't know if I'm bold enough to say he wins it. But I'd love to see it though. I think a successful cash in at Mania would be beautiful.
Oh, it would be. I think they're going to have. Obviously, we're moving into the final match now, the title match, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. I think because of this whole Seth Rollins thing, if Seth Rollins didn't have the Money in the Bank and he wasn't involved in this, I think. Because that story in its own is just amazing, how he's building himself and everything. I think they would put the title on Reigns. I'm thinking, because of this whole Seth Rollins Money in the Bank thing, that they're going to have Lesnar win the title, but then Rollins comes out and takes it from him.
That's exactly what I think.
That would be amazing.
I think the easy booking on this is to have Brock Lesnar beat Reigns clean. I personally feel bad for Roman Reigns. I don't think he's a bad wrestler. I don't think he's not that bad of a dude. He had that one Suffering Succotash promo that drove me nuts. But other than that, I think he's an alright guy. But the crowd is going to boo him relentlessly, especially now that it's out that Brock Lesnar re-signed.
I was just going to say
Lesnar is probably going to get a hero's welcome. And I just think I almost feel like WWE's in a corner here where they're going to have Lesnar beat Reigns. I mean, that's easy booking.
Yeah.
That could be more complicated. Vince McMahon is promising a big surprise, which can mean anything. There's always rumors of, Paul Heyman will turn on Lesnar.
I heard that.
Roman Reigns could use a mouthpiece. You put the pieces together. Or maybe Seth Rollins becomes a Heyman guy that night. Who knows? I think it's really weird. I felt like a couple weeks ago there weren't a lot of possibilities. Reigns goes over. Now I think that's the last possible outcome.
And you know what else? With Lesnar making this whole, he signed a new 3-year deal, 3-year.
Oh, 3 years?
1 match, 3-year deal. Only 1 match he signed for, which is what it said that in the contract. So if he loses the title, he's gonna have to play that out. He's gonna have to pick his battle pretty. Well, he's going to have to think about it for a while if he only has 1 match.
He signed a 3-year, 1-match deal?
I swear to God, a 3-year, 1-match contract. That's what it said online.
Well, I see one thing I wondered, I suggested this on our last show when the Jon Stewart Seth Rollins thing happened, that they kind of started looking, Seth Rollins just said an off-the-cuff thing about the Daily Show, and then it just spun out. But I said it seemed to work so well that I then kind of wondered, was that all planned out from the beginning? And I kind of feel that way with the whole Brock Lesnar thing now, with the having him show up at the UFC thing and talk to Dana White and everything. And then all of a sudden it just turns out Wrestlemania week it leaks out that Brock Lesnar re-signed.
maybe I'm
kind of wondering, was this whole thing played out?
Yeah, the internet nerds out. Maybe they're getting so good at this internet game that it's let's just mess with their heads the whole way.
Yeah,
that would be great.
And maybe Dana White didn't even know he was getting played. It's just hey Brock, why don't you go down there and talk to Dana White, and it'll get somebody will take a picture and it'll be all over the internet and it'll be a big thing.
Well, actually, when Lesnar went on, I don't know if did you see when he went on ESPN and he announced the whole thing?
I saw the interview. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well,
he said he was training for MMA though for the past 2 months.
He said he was, but now he made the final decision that it's out of the books. He's done. He's not going back to MMA. He's sticking with WWE for the rest of his career. So that because he said in the end that's what he said that's what he's best at. That's where his life has been and what he wants to do.
I hope what Dave said is correct. I hope that WWE is just so super intelligent that they've been messing with us all along. This whole thing was planned out. I really just think at the midnight hour, Vince McMahon emptied the checkbook. He's like, name your price, Brock. I got this.
Of course, now we have the Kevin Nash going.
Well, I guess that's all of the WrestleMania matches, and then the other thing is the Hall of Fame. Kevin Nash and I believe
there's another Japanese wrestler.
Yeah, Tatsumi Fujinami. If I'm saying it incorrect, his first name probably, but he was great. He was the guy like in the late '80s, early '90s. It was like him and Ric Flair were the two tops. Pro Wrestling Illustrated every year would have the top wrestlers of the year, and it would always be those two. He was like the Japanese Ric Flair equivalent. He was the top guy there for 6 or 7 years.
Right.
And then another guy, I think since our last show, Larry Zbyszko was also.
Yes, Larry Zbyszko also.
The legend who was the now defunct AWA. He was kind of a big player there. I'm old enough to remember when he turned on Bruno Sammartino, which was the funny thing for everyone who sort of thinks that professional wrestling started with Hulk Hogan, and look, all praise is due and all that, but
Bruno Sammartino was here first.
Right. I'm going to tell you, in 78, 79, whatever the year was, after Larry Zbyszko turned on Bruno Sammartino, he beat him down with a chair, which maybe it's just because I was so young. I feel like that was the first time that ever happened, the chair thing. It probably wasn't.
No, I don't think it was.
But it was just like the way the announcers were acting, and maybe because I was like 9,
you didn't see that all the time.
Yeah, maybe because I was like 9, it just seemed like the first time that ever happened. But what that led to, though, Larry Zbyszko and Bruno Sammartino had a steel cage match in Shea Stadium. Okay, so like 50,000 people went to Shea Stadium to see Larry Zbyszko and Bruno Sammartino, and this was a good 4 or 5 years before Hulkamania. So
were you there?
I was not there, unfortunately, but again, all praises for Hulkamania, Wrestlemania, Rock and Wrestling Connection,
Axelmania,
all that. All praises to that took wrestling into the stride, but there was still they were selling out Shea Stadium for a steel cage match 5 years, and cable TV was barely even around yet, so
there were still 13 channels when it died.
Yeah, exactly, and they were packing Shea Stadium for Larry Zbyszko. So
didn't Andre wrestle at Shea Stadium also?
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah, and of course, everyone knows Andre. Andre was packing places before cable too. Yeah.
I guess, you know what, I think we should mention one more thing. I don't know if you guys know. Have you heard about what happened in AAA, Mexican wrestling?
Oh.
I think we should give our condolences to the family of Perro Del Aguayo, who was...
Very sad.
It was a freak accident in the... I don't know if did you guys see the video?
You know what, I chose not to watch it. I had no interest. I saw so many people putting it on Facebook, and I had no interest in watching it. And, if that's if that's bad, for a guy who hosts the show, I'm supposed to have an opinion on it. I just had no, interest in watching it.
Yeah, it was a match in AAA. Mysterio was in the match. Rey Mysterio, who's now with AAA, he's back with AAA. And the original Sin Cara, he's going by a different name now. They were all involved in the match. It was a tag team match, and it was a little freak accident. Anything could happen in wrestling. You never know what could happen in the middle of a match. It was just Mysterio setting up for his 619, and the rope just ricocheted his trachea, and that's what happened. Conan was on the side of the ring, trying to get him out, and everything. It was just a horrible thing that happened. So of course we send our condolences to the family of Aguayo, and we hope that everything, it's all figured out soon and everything blows over smoothly. Yeah,
there's I've heard reports about he might be charged with things, and the thing is, it's a different country with different laws, and so whatever. So I'm certainly not. I'm barely qualified to give an opinion on American law. I'm certainly not qualified to give an opinion on foreign countries' laws. So, you know, I think most of us think it was, like you said, an accident and Rey Mysterio shouldn't do jail time, but again,
No. If
but
you see
again,
the video,
right.
You have to watch it like five. Like I did. I had to watch it like 5 times, maybe
Yeah.
just to see where it happened. Because
Yeah.
you really can't tell. It just looks like it was just part of the match, and then he just slumps.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to like kind
Yeah.
of figure out what exactly happened.
Again, I mean, just from what I've heard, I mean, from our standards, it would seem like he's innocent. But again, it's a different country, and who knows exactly what the laws are there, and how, you know, so that's.
But of course, accidents happen. And,
Yeah.
you know, you can't control what happens in life. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Your calling happens whenever you're called.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, of course, we send our condolences. And is there anything else we should add?
Yeah, well, I guess I didn't know we were.
I just thought of that last second.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
right. And I forgot about it.
I'm sorry about ending that show on such a low note, but I remember seeing an article again today on Facebook.
Yeah.
The show must go on, right?
Of course, the show must go on.
Wrestlemania, and I'll just give a shout out to our friends at for those in the North Jersey area. JCW are doing a show at Hasbrook Heights. I think it might be a VFW. You can probably look it up in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey.
The Sandman will be there
this Saturday night. And the Sandman will be there, and I won't be performing, but I will be there. Our friend Rico was actually at the Jake the Snake show and invited us to come out. So we want anyone go out see the JCW show in Hasbrook Heights this Saturday. Get you all set up for WrestleMania the next night.
And if you're going out to San Francisco, enjoy, or San Jose, or whatever, the California area, enjoy that sunshine for us Jersey folk.
Yes, please.
That's right. And save a little bit of energy for April 12th.
Right.
With Nick Foley at Reds in Carlstadt, New Jersey. We'll all be out there for that one. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time in the Durkamania Comedy Wrestling Webcast.